Task 1. Create agents and groups for multiple locations. Create business hours and Before creating a user, we first make sure how many agents can be created in our trial instance. Open the admin menu, select PALM and Biling, then select Manage Trial and enter the desired number of agents. After that, check in the location if there is a desired location, select the location menu and select New Location to add a new location. After adding the next location, add the agent according to each location and group by adjusting each location. You can add all your technicians and managers as technicians to your service desk by clicking on the agent's icon under the Admin tab. When you add a new agent, their role will determine the kind of access * they'll have in the service desk. If multiple roles are set for an agent, the higher level of access will apply. At the maximum restriction, you can choose to only allow agents to view tickets that have been assigned to them, or at the minimum, give them complete access to your help desk including the setup and configurations under the Admin tab. A quick guide to adding agents to Freshservice. Log into your Freshservice account as an administrator. Go to Admin User Management section to start adding agents. Select Agents. Click on the New Agent button on the top. Specify if you want the agent to be full-time or occasional. Type in basic information about the agent, including name and email address. Add the agent to relevant groups. You can optionally add a profile picture and describe what the agent will be doing in the organization. In case you have enabled the gamification settings in Freshservice Arcade, you can let your experienced agents start with more points. Choose a role for the agent by clicking on the Associate Role button. Click on Save. You can use agent groups in Freshservice to add and organize agents, define departmental or zonal workflows, and enforce access separation. Create multiple agent groups based on the agent's skills, the services provided, or the regions and time zones that they're associated with. To create a new agent group, access the admin settings using your account credentials. Click Groups under User Management. By default, the agent groups will be listed. Click the Create New button at the top right and select Agent Group. Enter a group name. Click Add a description to provide a summary of the functions of the group. Select the business hours and business function for the group by clicking the drop-down. Change the toggle button to make the group restricted or unrestricted. Select the radio button under the Agents section to add agents as members or observers. Once you're done searching and selecting the agents, click the Add button. Click the Group Automations drop-down and select the duration, minutes/days, after which escalation emails should be sent. Click on the Select Agent drop-down and choose an agent. All forthcoming escalation emails will be sent to this agent. Click Save once you're done. To edit an agent group, access the admin settings using your account credentials. Click Groups under User Management. By default, the agent groups will be listed. Click on the name of the group. This will take you to the group details page. Alternatively, you can click Edit next to the group of your choice. Click Update once you've finalized your changes. To delete an agent group, access the admin settings using your account credentials. Click Groups under User Management. By default, the agent groups will be listed. Click on the Delete icon next to the group of your choice. A confirmation message will appear. Click OK to proceed with the deletion. When you have multiple parts of the support team working in different regions, times, or time zones, managing the working hours of each group becomes troublesome. Each center wakes up at a different time, so it makes sense to align the slot timer with the center's working hours. Multiple business hours in Freshservice allow you to create a series of different working hours and days off. You can then organize these working hours to specific groups. There are two major steps involved in setting up multiple business hours. Create a new set of business hours. First, you need to define the new business calendar by setting the working hours and holidays for this calendar. Assign the business hour to one or more groups. Next, you will need to jump into each agent group that you want this new business calendar to be applied to, and select the appropriate calendar. Quick guide to creating multiple business hours. Log into your account as an administrator. Go to Admin Service Management Help Desk Settings Business Hours. There will be one default business hour option already. Click on Create New. You can create new business hours based on either location or a specific team. Next to default business hours, click on the Edit button. You can choose the time zone from the drop-down menu. If your service desk offers round-the-clock support, set the service desk hours to 24 hours x 7 days. You can define working hours based on your organization's needs. In case you work on different timings every day, you could define them separately using the Select Working Days/Hours option. You can uncheck non-working days from your business calendar. You can define the yearly holiday list either manually or by importing a country's holiday list. The holidays will be ignored when calculating SLAs for a ticket. Click on the Save button to update your new business hours configuration. Once the multiple business hours have been set, you now have to assign them to tickets and/or the groups. A quick guide to assigning specific business hours to different tickets. When you have a support team that helps customers across different time zones, it becomes important to define SLA promises based on customers' departments or other ticket properties. Admins can now configure conditions that allow them to define which business hours should be applied to a specific ticket. In the Create New page, go to When should this business hours be applied section. Click on Add New Condition and set conditions on top of ticket fields that will define when to apply that specific business hours. Admins can set multiple conditions based on different ticket fields and define whether to match all or either of them. A quick guide to assigning specific business hours to different groups. Click on Admin User Management Agent Groups. Here too, you will have groups based on location and teams. Select the group you want to assign the business hours to and click on the Edit option. Here the Capacity Management team has been assigned Chicago business hours. Assigning work schedule to agents. As soon as workload management is enabled, a default work schedule is assigned to all agents and project-only users. This is so that the existing workload of agents and project-only users can be visualized in terms of percentage of their working hours. Default work schedule. The default work schedule is created using the default business hours of the service desk. The day-wise schedule and holiday calendar defined in the default business hours is used to create the work schedule and is assigned to all the added agents and project-only users. The default work schedule is not editable, so if a user's working hours are different, a new schedule will have to be created and assigned. Creating new work schedules. If any user's work schedule is different from the default work schedule, admins can create a new schedule by referencing any other business hour created in the service desk and assigning it to that user. Users can only be part of a single work schedule and not multiple work schedules. Hence, when they are added to a new work schedule, their old work schedule will be delinked. Updating user profiles. The work schedule for an agent/project-only user can also be updated from their profile by admins. Tasks 2 and 3. Setting up a customized portal. Knowledge base setup. Portal guidelines based on requirements. Setting up multiple emails. Productivity feature setup. Before you start telling users about your new help desk and support experience they can now expect from you, you probably want your service desk portal to reflect your brand and theme. Freshservice lets you customize your support and self-service portal with your logo and color theme. You can brand your help desk with the name of your organization, use your own favicon and completely redo the way your portal looks without taking too much time. Quick guide to rebranding your support portal. Log into your support portal. Click on Admin Help Desk Rebranding in Account Settings. Type in the name for your help desk or upload a logo image in its place. Configure the colors for the header, the navigation bar and the background. Type in a custom URL for your help desk, more on this below. If you want to customize the way your portal looks to your requester, please use the Customize Portal link. Hit the Save Changes button to finish. If just plain colors are not enough, you might want to check out some advanced customization options with fresh themes here. You can also customize your support URL to point to something like support.yourcompany.com instead of yourcompany.freshservice.com by configuring your vanity URL. Check this solution to find out how. However, this might mean your current customized portal might display some undesirable changes in the branding you had earlier configured. To fix the same. To reset your portal settings. In your Freshservice account, go to Admin-Help Desk Rebranding, under Account Settings, and click on Customize Portal. Finally, click on Reset to go back to the earlier configured portal settings. In the warning that shows next, Click on Reset All Changes. If you don't see the new UI, please clear cache once and configure your Service Desk portal once again, as this is a one-time reconfiguration. A knowledge base is exactly what it sounds like, a shared collection of tried and tested solutions that have been documented for future reference. The primary purpose of a knowledge base and knowledge management is to improve efficiency by reducing the need to rediscover knowledge. Customers can easily locate solutions in the Freshservice knowledge base on their own without having to wait for an agent to attend to their issue. Instead of typing out solutions every time, agents can also save a lot of time by simply linking relevant knowledge base solutions in their ticket responses to customers. Here's how the Freshservice knowledge base works. Adding categories. The solutions in your knowledge base are broadly grouped under categories. This makes it easier for both customers and agents to isolate and identify the solutions they're looking for. To add a new category, click on the Solutions tab from the left sidebar. On the Solution page, click on Add New Category button on the top at right side of the page. Enter a category name and a description. Click on the Save button to create the new category. You can further edit the name or description of the category by clicking the Edit button next to the newly created category. Adding folders. The various categories in your knowledge base are further divided into folders. This is how you add new folders under existing categories. To create a folder, all the categories in your knowledge base appear on the left pane when you click on the Solutions tab. Click on the category in which you want to add a new folder. Click on Add New Folder button on the top at right side of the page. Enter a name, description, and click on the drop-down box to set visibility for the new folder. You can also change the category option here by selecting from the category drop-down list. Click on the Save button to create the new folder. You can further edit the details of the folder by clicking the Edit button next to the folder. Set up your support mailbox in Freshservice. Log into your Freshservice account. In the Admin tab, under Channels, select Email rightward arrow Email Settings and Mailboxes. Under Global Support Emails, click on the primary email address to edit it. If you want to create multiple support addresses, you can click on New Email Settings. Give your support email a name, like My Company Help Desk. This will be the from name that your customers see in your reply emails. Enter your support email address. This will also be the reply to address for the emails you send from your service desk. Save your new email configuration. To verify your email and setting up forward rules. You would have received an email from your help desk to the email ID you entered. Click on the verification link in the email to confirm your email. You can also copy-paste the link into your browser. Create a rule in your mailbox to forward incoming emails to your Freshservice specified email ID, support@yourcompany.freshservice.com. Every help desk has a bunch of common questions that keep coming up over and over again. Agents continue reinventing the wheel for the same queries, resulting in wasted hours as well as inconsistent replies. To save time, you can create pre-formatted reply templates to common questions as canned responses and allow agents to reuse them with a single click. You can even ensure that each response is customized with the requester's name, agent's signature, and ticket details using dynamic content placeholders. Quick guide for creating a canned response. Go to admin-canned response. Click the Add Canned Response button. Enter a response title that you and your agents can easily understand when using this canned response in a reply. Type your formatted response template in the rich text editor. Click the Insert Placeholder button to automatically include dynamic content like ticket ID, subject, and requester name in the reply. Add any attachments that you'd like this response to include. Choose the visibility and access permissions for this response. You can choose whether this response is available only to you, to a specific set of groups, or to all agents in your help desk. Choose the folder you want this canned response to be saved to. Responses visible only to you will be saved in the personal folder by default. Hit Save to save this reply as a canned response. The list of canned responses created will be available in the canned response page. You can also create folders of canned responses and categorize them properly. This will also allow you to share them with specific groups of agents or your entire team. Freshservice lets you schedule tickets automatically for tasks that have to be done on a recurring basis. One example of this could be a monthly reminder to the IT team to check the backup server's storage space. Quick guide to track time automatically on. Go to Admin Automation and Productivity Agent Productivity Scheduler. Click on New Schedule, and give a name. Provide your desired frequency of the ticket. Provide the date and time details for when to generate the ticket. Under Ticket Details, enter the data you want to see in the ticket. Attach an asset if there is any associated with the schedule. Click Save. You can create any number of schedules and switch them on or off by toggling them in the main scheduler window. One of the most challenging and time-consuming tasks in managing a service desk is assigning the right parameters to the incoming tickets. By setting the right category, impact, type, etc., you can redirect tickets to the right person/team and get them resolved at the earliest. Although it only takes a few seconds per ticket on average for a service desk manager to set the right values, things could quickly pile up owing to the volume of incoming tickets. Bridging this gap can shorten the first response as well as the resolution time. Field Suggester powered by Freddy uses machine learning to suggest field values to incoming tickets. The algorithm learns from previous tickets and suggests field parameters such as category, subcategory, item, and group. The user can simply approve the suggested parameters, or make changes if necessary. Configuring Field Suggester. To enable Field Suggester, head to the Settings section, and click on Field Suggester under Help Desk Productivity. Switch on the toggle button next to enable Field Suggester. Fields that are available for prediction will be listed. Add or remove fields from the list to enable predictions. How to get Field Suggester enabled. Your account should have at least 100 tickets a month for the machine learning model to make effective predictions. Once an accurate model is available, your account's administrator will be notified via email. Prediction mechanism. Our machine learning algorithm learns from how your tickets fields are set in the background and applies the suggestions to the incoming tickets. Suggestions are made only if the algorithm's prediction confidence is greater than 80%. Viewing and applying predictions. After setting up, the ML engine will start predicting fields in tickets. Tickets that have field predictions can be viewed under the View Tickets with Freddy suggestions, designed specifically to view. If you wish to see the predicted fields, click on the ticket of your choice and click on the Click to View Suggestions option. You can see all the predicted fields highlighted in yellow. Review them and click on the Update button to replace the default values with the predicted ones. Note that the predicted values are mere suggestions, and are not saved in the database. You can accept the suggestions by clicking on Update. If the prediction is inaccurate, you can still set the field with the right value. The machine learning model will periodically be refreshed to relearn from the updated values. Disabling Field Suggester. If you wish to disable the feature, kindly follow the below-mentioned steps. Head to the Settings section and click on Field Suggester under Help Desk Productivity. Remove the fields for which you'd like to stop predictions. Alternatively, you could turn off the toggle switch next to Enable Field Suggester, if you'd like to stop predictions altogether. Response suggestions are built to help your team by providing relevant solution articles and canned response suggestions when they're handling a ticket. The feature uses machine learning to understand the content of the ticket and suggests one or more relevant solution articles and/or canned responses. Currently, we provide up to 3 relevant suggestions when available. How to enable response suggestions. To enable response suggestions, head to Admin Suggested Answers. Here, you'll find options to enable both solution articles and canned response suggestions. Once you enable these suggestions, your team will start seeing suggestions when they work on Tickets module. Response suggestions and including them in tickets. After enabling the feature, you'll see the relevant solution articles and canned responses in the Ticket Details section. You can click on each section, solution article or canned response, and add the respective content or content URL to the response you're drafting. Inserting canned responses. To insert canned responses to your ticket, select the relevant canned response and click on plus Insert Response. Adding solution articles. In the case of solution articles, you can either insert the URL of the article or the whole content of the article to your ticket response. Task 4. Time tracking for agents. Audit log for admins. Freshservice lets you add time entries to track the time spent on tickets by each agent, handling specific tasks. This helps you get an idea of the overall service desk performance. And adding a timer to tasks, or the entire ticket, for that matter, is pretty easy. From the ticket's detailed view, click on Time Tracked in the bottom right corner and then click Add Time. In the Add Time window, select the task you want to track. The agent field will change to the corresponding agent automatically. Add the start time in the hours field and select the billable checkbox to log the entry as billable in the timesheet report. Select a date, the current date is filled in by default. Add a note to label the time entry and click on Start Timer. When you add a new time entry, it stops all the existing timers. You can start and stop the timers manually, and also edit or delete them if required. Just hover over a time entry in the ticket's detailed view to get these options. Audit log keeps track of all the changes that take place under the admin section of your service desk. On the other hand, all events related to individual ITIL modules such as tickets, problems, change, etc. will be tracked under the Activities section. Audit log comes handy when you're performing external/internal audits. They can be very helpful in case of a service desk incident as it helps you in identifying the person who is responsible for the incident. As of now, audit log keeps track of changes that take place in the following modules: Accounts, Plans and Billings, Agents, Groups, Change life cycle and change form fields, Sandbox, SLA policies, Assume identity. Accessing audit log. To access audit log, click on the settings icon from the left sidebar and click on Audit Log under Account Settings. Once you log in, you will see the logs of everything in relation to accounts, plans and billing, agents, groups and change, sandbox, SLA policy, and assume identity. Applying filters. Since the page presents too much information, you can also filter the audit log based on your preference. You can filter audit log based on a specific date range or by object type, account, plan and billing, group, and agent. To apply filters, head to Audit Log and click on the funnel icon on the top right corner. Choose the date range for which you wish to view the audit log. Choose the object type from what's changed. Accounts, plans and billing, agents, groups and change, sandbox, SLA policy, and assume identity. Once done, click Apply. Task 5. Problem Management Process. Change Management Process with CAB Approval. Release Management Process. A problem is the cause of one or more incidents. Once a problem has been documented, all the relevant details need to be added for the root cause analysis to be effective. Then a workaround or a permanent solution needs to be determined to solve the problem. This section talks about problem management in Freshservice. Creating problems. In the previous section, we discussed the process of creating a problem from a ticket's detailed view. If no incidents have been reported for a problem yet, you can create a fresh problem. The process of identifying significant problems by analyzing incident records and data collected by other IT service management processes is called proactive problem management. Every problem is created with a unique ID that differentiates it from the rest. For example, if the problem ID is PRB 123, PRB stands for problem and 123 is the problem number. To create a new problem, click on the plus, New, icon in the top right corner and select Problem. Fill the form to create the problem and click on Save. Adding incidents to a problem. Understanding the impact of a problem becomes way easier if you can see all the incidents caused by it, and linking tickets to a problem is extremely easy. Click on Associate option at the top right of the screen and click on Existing Incident. You can also click on the Associations tab below the problem description and click on Plus Associate option to add an incident. In the ticket list that pops up, select the incidents you'd like to link to the problem and click on Link. The linked tickets will be displayed under the Associations button. If you need to detach an incident later, hover over it and click the minus sign next to it. Then click on Detach. Quick Guide for Managing Problem Properties. Click on any problem from the dashboard or the ticket list to see its details. Head over to the Problem Properties section on the right side menu. In case it has been collapsed, click to expand it once again. Using the drop-down boxes, choose and edit the priority, status, and other fields in the Problem Properties list. Click Update once done. Adding the root cause, impact and symptoms to the problem. Besides knowing which incidents were caused by the problem, some more information is required to resolve it. The most important piece of information is the root cause of the problem, which is identified by performing root cause analysis. You'd also want to document the impact and symptoms of the problem in detail. To add the root cause, the impact, and the symptoms, click in the corresponding box, enter the information and click Add. Adding workarounds and permanent solutions. Once the problem's details are in place, finding a solution to the problem becomes easy. A workaround can be provided for problems that cannot be resolved instantly. You can link a solution article from your knowledge base and as a workaround or a permanent solution for the problem, or add a solution of your own. To add a workaround or a permanent solution, go to the problem's detailed view and click on Permanent/Workaround under Solutions. If the solution exists in your knowledge base already, search for the article and click the paperclip icon to link it. If it does not, click on Add a New Solution and skip to the next step. If a new solution needs to be added, click on Add a new solution. Then type in the solution title, select an appropriate folder for it from the drop-down menu and enter the steps in the description field. Once you're done, click on Add. Marking problems as known errors. Depending on factors like business impact, cost of the solution and ROI, implementing the solution immediately might not be feasible. Until it is, you can use the workaround and mark the problem as a known error. From the problem's detailed view, toggle the "Is this a known issue?" switch to Yes. Adding notes to problems. Often, you need to discuss the problem with other agents in your team, share progress internally and log your updates for future reference. Freshservice lets you add private notes to a problem that are only visible to agents logged into your service desk. When you add a note to a ticket, you can also choose to notify specific agents in your team. Viewing problem activities. There are a lot of times when you need a quick snapshot of all the activity that has been happening in a problem. Similarly, you may want to have a quick glance at all the changes that happened due to automation rules and custom fields. Activities give you a complete snapshot of all such updates that happened within a problem. A quick guide to checking your problem activity history. Click on any problem from the dashboard or the ticket list to see its details. Click on the Activities button at the bottom of the original description of the ticket. The entire list of activities that happened so far gets displayed in reverse chronological order. The created date is also captured under the Activities tab. Associating assets. Since Freshservice is integrated with the Asset Management module, you could associate an asset linked to the change request. This way admins and agents can see the various other assets linked and assess the impact and risk for that particular asset. Click on Assets + Associate Asset. Search for the asset right away or select a category, then choose the assets from the list. Click Associate to add them to the change request. Problem Management in Freshservice. Head over to the Problem tab and you'll see a list of all the problems that, just like tickets, can be filtered to narrow down to meet specific conditions. Problems on this page can be filtered using any of the following custom filters: New problems and your open problems, your closed problems, all your problems, unassigned problems, change requested problems, closed problems, trash, all problems. Problems can also be sorted by the due date, date created, last modified, priority, status and in ascending or descending order. You can select multiple problems and perform these bulk actions. Delete, select the problem you don't need anymore and click delete. Pick up, just what it sounds like. Use this option to take ownership of the selected problem Assign to agent, in case you need to assign a problem to another agent, as opposed to yourself. Click on this option and then select the agent's name from the drop-down menu. In the Problem module, click on Export. Select the file format for export. Filter the problems you want to export using the filters. Select the fields you want to export. Click Export when you are done. How can you view the known errors? In the Problems module, click on +More on the Filters panel. Select Known Errors, mark as known error. Modification options in Problem View page. To view and modify a problem, go to the Problems tab and from the list of problems, click the one that you would like to view or modify. Here's the list of options you get there. Update, click on the Update button and you get options to add information that will help proceed towards resolving the problem. You can add details like root cause, impact, symptoms, permanent solution, workaround. In case any of the details are already added, you get the option to edit them. Change, this option lets you associate the problem with a new or existing change. More options. You can change properties like status, priority, impact, due date, group, and agent right from the Problem View page. If you'd like to change the requester, subject line, or description, click on More and click Edit. You can also attach a CI to the problem if need be. To delete or close the problem, click on More and then click the respective option. Additionally, you can also set whether the problem is a known issue or not, right on the problem view page. If you need to track the elapsed time for a problem, scroll all the way down and click on Time Tracked rightward arrow Add Time. Fill in the details and click on Start Timer. You can also specify the amount of time elapsed since the problem was created to start the timer at that point. You can find options to add notes and tasks, link incidents, and sys and view all activities performed on the problem, right below the description on the problem view page. Change management. Okay, so now you've got the root cause of the incident figured out and documented. Time to bring about the change that will fix the problem, ideally, for good. Change management is responsible for controlling the life cycle of changes. Its primary objective is to enable beneficial changes to be made, with minimum disruption to IT services. Change management in Freshservice. The Changes module in Freshservice also provides custom filter options to help you view changes that match specific conditions. Your changes. New and your open changes. Your closed changes. Your approved changes. Your unapproved changes. Unassigned changes. Closed changes. Changes awaiting release. Trash. All changes. Changes can also be sorted by the date created, last modified, priority, status and in ascending or descending order. You can select multiple changes and perform these bulk actions. Delete, select the change, you don't need any more and click delete. Pick up, this option assigns the selected change to you. Assign to agent, in case you need to assign a change to another agent, click on this option and then select the agent's name from the drop-down menu. Information and modification options available on the change view page. You could add more details or modify the existing change properties such as priority, impact, risk, and change type right from the tickets detail page. Under planning, you could fill up the following options required to fulfill the change request. Reason for change. Impact. Rollout plan. Backout plan. In case any of the details are already added, you get the option to edit them. To associate, this option lets you associate the change with a new or existing release. Release management aims at implementing changes in a planned manner. We'll get to it in a bit. 3 more, you can change properties like status, priority, impact, risk, change type, category, cost, group, and agent right from the change view page. If you'd like to change the requester, subject line, or description, click on More and click Edit. You can also attach a CI to the problem if need be. To delete or close the change, click on More and then click the respective option. 4. In case the change requires the CAB's approval, you can request for it right from the change view page. Click on the Request for CAB approval option to send the request. 5. Need to track the elapsed time for the change? Scroll all the way down and click on Time Tracked rightward arrow Add Time, and click on Start Timer to start the auto timer. You can also specify the amount of time elapsed since the change was created to start the timer at that point. 6. You can find options to add notes and tasks, link incidents, problems, and sys and view all activities performed on the change, right below the description on the change view page. Release management. Once a change is approved by the CAB, the process of planning the deployment of the change begins. It is important to make sure that all the aspects of the change, technical and non-technical, are considered before it is rolled out. Release management in Freshservice. The Releases tab in Freshservice also provides custom filter options to help you view releases that match specific conditions. New and your open releases. Your completed releases. Your releases. Unassigned releases. Completed releases. Incomplete releases. Emergency releases. Trash. All releases. Releases can also be sorted by the date created, last modified, priority, status and in ascending or descending order. Bulk actions. You can select multiple releases and perform these bulk actions. Delete, select the release, you don't need any more and click delete. Pick up, this option assigns the release to you. Assign to agent, in case you need to assign a release to another agent, click on this option and then select the agent's name from the drop-down menu. Modification options available in Release View page. To access more details regarding a release or to modify its properties, from the Releases tab, click on the release. Here's the list of options you get there. Update. On the view page, you can update releases by adding details like build plan, test plan. In case they're already added, you get options to edit them. More, you can change properties like plan start and end dates, status, priority, release, type, group, and agent right from the change view page. If you'd like to change the subject line or description, click on More and click Edit. You can also attach a CI to the problem if need be. To delete the release or mark it as completed, click on More and then click the respective option. 3. Freshservice lets you track the elapsed time for releases. Scroll all the way down and click on Time Tracked rightward arrow Add Time, and click on Start Timer to start the auto timer. You can also specify the amount of time elapsed since the release was created to start the timer at that point. 4. You can find options to add notes and tasks, link changes, and sys and view all activities performed on the change, right below the description on the change view page. Task 6. Location-based automation setup. Approval automation setup. For location automation setup, we use Workflow Automator, with the following configuration. Create an event with a condition if there is a ticket created. After that we will filter by using a condition where the condition will see the location field in the requester form. If the location field on the requester form shows a certain location, we will immediately assign the ticket to the group that matches the location, and if there is no suitable location, we will assign the ticket to the central IT manager. For approval based on the amount of cost, we use a workflow automator with the following conditions. If the ticket is created, it will check the services cost field, and if the amount of services cost exceeds the provisions, it will send an approval email to the manager. If approved, the ticket will be created. If not approved, the ticket will be deleted. Task 7. Asset Management Walkthrough. Discovery Capabilities of Freshservice. Relationship and Financial Management of Assets. The CMDB/Asset Management module in Freshservice shows you a complete list of all the assets and configuration items that have been linked within your IT service desk. By default, Freshservice comes with a set of asset/CI types that cover all the essentials for a typical IT service desk. This includes hardware items like laptops, workstations, network routers, etc., and software assets like operating systems. In case the default categories don't fit your purpose, you can add additional asset/CI types, or edit the existing ones from the admin settings page. A quick guide to adding a new asset/CI type to Freshservice. Log into Freshservice as an account admin. Go to Admin Asset Management Asset Types and Fields. Click on the New Asset Type button on the top right. Enter a name and description for the asset/CI. Choose a parent category for the asset/CI if applicable. Click on the Save button to finish adding the asset. In Freshservice, depreciation can be calculated in 3 modes: declining balance, straight line, and sum of years digits method. Based on these 3 models, you can create unlimited depreciation methods to calculate depreciation of assets. Based on this, the book value of the asset will be displayed in the asset/CI page. Follow the following steps to create a depreciation method. 1. Go to Admin. 2. Scroll down to Asset Management and click on the Asset Depreciation. 3. Click on Add New. 4. Enter a desired name for the method and mention the depreciation mode you want to follow. 5. Do not forget to enter the number of years. 6. Click on Save. Follow the following steps to assign a depreciation method to an asset. 1. Go to Admin Asset Management Product Catalog. 2. Click on the desired asset. 3. Click on Edit Product button on the top right corner. 4. Scroll down to Depreciation Type and select the desired depreciation method that you created earlier. 5. Click Update. For relationships between assets or CI in Freshservices, it has been provided according to best services, but you can add if you feel it is still lacking for the type of relationship between CI by going to the admin menu Relationship Types, select New Relationship and enter the type of downstream and upstream relationship you want and add a description to make it easier for users. In addition to having your assets scanned by the Discovery probe, Freshservice also lets you add configurations to your help desk manually. This is useful when you want to keep track of a system that is outside your network, or with any consumable items and peripherals. These assets will become a part of your CMDB/asset management module and can have properties and relationships just like the ones discovered automatically. A quick guide to manually adding a configuration item to Freshservice. Log into Freshservice as an admin. Click on Assets-Inventory from the navigation. Click on the Add New button on the top right corner. Fill in the name, type, impact, and description for the CI/asset. Enter the hardware properties such as product, vendor, asset state, warranty, etc. depending on the type of asset you're creating. If necessary, you can assign it to a department in your help desk or have it assigned it to a specific requester directly. You will also be able to choose who manages the asset. Click on the Save button on top to finish adding the asset. Your new asset now gets added to the CMDB/asset management module. You can browse through your existing sys/assets and start managing it in any way you want. Determining the cost of the assets. You can define the value of the services offered to clients by taking into account all costs. This can be done while creating a new asset within your inventory. You can capture information related to the cost of the asset, the salvage value, and the depreciation type. Assigning the asset to departments. You can assign assets at a department level, group level, user level, and at an agent level while configuring a new asset in the inventory. Attaching files and asset contract documentation. You can add additional information while creating an asset by attaching files and other documentation related to the asset such as invoices, purchase orders, receipts, proofs of purchase, etc. Simply click Choose File and select files from your desktop/laptop to upload them. Creating baselines for assets. We can define a new asset called the baseline asset to compare updated asset records against the baseline records. For example, for a Linux server, we can create a new server asset and call it the baseline Linux server. This will have the recommended configuration, and if any of the discovered Linux servers don't match this record, then that becomes a deviation, thereby highlighting mismatches and against the baseline asset. You can create or update assets in bulk by importing a CSV file. Here are some general guidelines on importing the assets. Preparing for first-time asset import. If you need to create custom asset types, then create them before you begin the import. You can create new asset types by going to admin-asset types. If you need to create custom asset fields for each asset type, then create them before you begin the import. If you have created new fields such as drop-down fields which can have choices, ensure that you add the choices under admin-asset types before import. Preparing your CSV file for upload. Split your CSV file by asset type. You can only import assets of one asset type in one go. As a first step, create a separate file for each asset type. Required columns. By default, the display name is the only field required for an asset by Freshservice. Ensure that your CSV has this column. If you have configured any fields as required, ensure that these are also available in your CSV. Attached is a sample CSV file for laptop asset type. Tip: you can get a template for any asset type by creating a sample asset in Freshservice and exporting it. Make sure you select all fields when exporting the file to get all the possible fields for that asset type. To assign an user to an asset, specify the email ID of the user in the Used By field. To assign an agent to an asset as Managed By, specify the email ID of the agent in the Managed By field. Importing the file. Go to Inventory-Import. Select the asset type you want to import. Upload the CSV file. Choose how to match records in the CSV with assets in Freshservice. If the asset type selected for import hardware or its child types, you can match records by serial number, default, display name, or asset tag. If any other asset type is selected, you can choose to not match records at all, default. This will create all the entries in the CSV as new assets, or match records by display name or asset tag. Click Next. Mapping fields. Freshservice automatically maps the fields in your CSV based on the header in the CSV. The values of the first asset entry in the CSV file are also shown as an example next to the mapping. You can review this mapping and make any changes as needed. Ensure the date format selected and the date format in the CSV matches if you wish to update any date fields. Click Import to start the import process. Import result and common errors. The import status screen shows the current status of the import. The status is updated every 30 seconds. Once the import is complete, you will get an import status and a quick summary of errors encountered during the import. An email with import status report will also be sent to the user who initiated the report once the import is completed. Overview. The Freshservice Discovery Agent can be installed on all your Windows, Mac, and Linux machines. The Discovery Agent then collects the machine's hardware and software information and updates Freshservice regularly without needing further intervention from the respective user. Besides making the discovery of your assets extremely easy, it helps you keep track of your assets better in the long run. The Discovery Agents use two update logics to send information to Freshservice. Dynamic discovery: every time the agent detects a change in its host machine, including changes to hardware or install/uninstall of softwares, it will update the data to Freshservice. This makes sure that the database stays the best possible representation of your assets at all times. Periodic discovery: the Discovery Agent updates Freshservice on a weekly basis to maintain an up-to-date record of all your assets. This is done regardless of whether changes were made to the asset or not. Downloading the Discovery Agent. The Discovery Agent for Windows, Mac, and Linux operating systems can be downloaded directly from your Freshservice portal. Navigate to Admin-Discovery. In the Agent tab, choose the required operating system. Click on Download Agent. Installing Discovery Agent. There are multiple ways in which the Discovery Agent can be deployed for each operating system. Windows. Install on a single machine. To install on all machines in a domain, use Group Policy Object. To install on all machines in a workgroup, use the ps-exec tool. Mac. To install on a single/multiple machines, follow the solution article. Linux. To install it on a Linux machine, run the script using the command sudo python fs-linux-agent.py. Freshservice comes with a ready-to-use discovery probe that makes it easy for you to scan your network for hardware assets and add them to your help desk. The Freshservice probe is a Windows application that can be installed on any workstation or laptop in your network. Once installed, it will be able to scan through all kinds of computers, including those running on Mac OS X or Linux, network routers, switches, and other devices like printers, etc. As long as you have the probe running on the same network, you will be able to go through asset discovery without any problems. Besides scanning for devices, you can use probe to import users from your Active Directory and also schedule periodic scans. The following solution articles will help you get started on using the probe. Downloading and installing Freshservice Discovery Probe. Configuring the Discovery Probe, first time using the Configuration Wizard. Managing scanned assets and error messages, day-to-day functioning of the probe. Troubleshooting error messages in Discovery Probe. What information does the probe fetch? Laptops and desktop computers. For laptops and desktop machines, probe fetches the following details. Name. Asset type. Product, finds the product based on the model name of the machine. If that is not found, the probe creates one and associates it. Manufacturer. Serial number. Last audit date. OS/OS version/OS service pack. Memory. Disk space. CPU speed. CPU core count. MAC address. Location, needs to be manually set for the probe entry in the account. Components, processor, memory, logical drive, network adapter. Software installed in the device. Used by, if the probe is used to import the user information. Last login by. Software applications. Softwares that are installed in each of the computers that are scanned are also added to Freshservice. All the applications discovered through the probe will be automatically listed in the software section. Software details include software name, version, installed machine, installation path, installation date, for Windows only, user information. For the users that are imported, probe fetches details like First and last name. Email, if no valid email ID is found, the user will be created as a deleted requester. Department, finds or creates. Reporting manager. Address. Job title. Phone number. How does the probe fetch all of the above information? The probe uses WMI queries to fetch data from Windows machines. By using SSH, the probe executes shell commands and fetches information from Linux and Mac machines. SNMP protocol is used to fetch object identifiers, OID, from network devices like printers, routers, firewall, and switches. Then later the OID can be used to fetch information for the device. You can manage and add new relationships to any of the assets in your help desk in the Asset Management module. Every item has two types of relationships, normal relationships and inverse relationships. Together, they can give a comprehensive report about how one particular asset is tied to the other assets in your organization. Prerequisite, create/modify relationship types. Freshservice provides you with a list of default relationship types that can be used to create the relationships in your organization. In addition to the default relationships, you can also create custom relationship types in Freshservice by going to Admin Relationship Types. Learn more about the default relationship types and custom relationship types here. Adding relationships to assets. To add relationships to your assets, log into Freshservice as an administrator or technician. Go to the CMDB/Assets tab by clicking on the link in the navigation bar. Browse through your list of assets and open any one of them. Expand the Relationships tab below the information box. Freshservice provides you two ways to add relationships to your assets. Using the full-screen relationship map view. Using the relationship list view. Adding relationships using the full-screen map view. In the relationship map view, click on the Expand Map icon. Click on the plus button next to the asset. Choose the asset and the relationship type from the drop-down. Click Add to finish. Adding relationships in bulk. In the relationship map view, click on the Expand Map icon. Click on the plus button next to the asset. Click on More options. Select the assets for which the relationships have to be created. Choose the relationships for each of these assets. You can also bulk update relationships for multiple assets by clicking on Bulk Update. Click on Add to attach all the relationships to the selected asset. Adding relationships using the list view. Click on Add New Relationship from the Relationship tab in the Asset Details page. Choose anything from the upstream or downstream relations. Pick any asset that you want to use with the relationship. Click on the Save button. When to choose the list view over the map view. Choose the map view if you want to create relationships in bulk or if you want to view all the relationships of an asset in a graphical format. Also, creating relationships for other assets on the map is possible from the map view. Choose the list view if you want to create one or two relationships quickly and when you know exactly the relationships between assets. Additionally, asset relationships can also be established between the service items and assets in an organization. For example, if you offer a payroll service, the relationship with other assets like DB payroll can be established. To fix a broken asset or change an existing asset, users can now create a new incident or change request directly from the Asset Details page. A quick guide on creating an incident/change for an asset. Log into your Freshservice portal, navigate to Assets-Inventory-Assets, Andrea's laptop. From the Asset Details page, click Create New Incident/New Change. Fill in all the ticket details for the form fields and click Create. Once the incident or change is created, you can view it in the Request tab, or through the Associate menu in the Relation map. In Freshservice, depreciation can be calculated in three modes: declining balance, straight line, and sum of years digits method. Based on these three models, you can create unlimited depreciation methods to calculate depreciation of assets. Based on this, the book value of the asset will be displayed in the Asset/CI page. Follow the following steps to create a depreciation method. 1. Go to Admin. 2. Scroll down to Asset Management and click on the Asset Depreciation. 3. Click on Add New. 4. Enter a desired name for the method and mention the depreciation mode you want to follow. 5. Do not forget to enter the number of years. 6. Click on Save. In Freshservice, depreciation can be calculated in three modes: declining balance, straight line, and sum of years digits method. Based on these three models, you can create unlimited depreciation methods to calculate depreciation of assets. Based on this, the book value of the asset will be displayed in the Asset/CI page. Follow the following steps to create a depreciation method. 1. Go to Admin. 2. Scroll down to Asset Management and click on the Asset Depreciation. 3. Click on Add New. 4. Enter a desired name for the method and mention the depreciation mode you want to follow. 5. Do not forget to enter the number of years. 6. Click on Save. Follow the following steps to assign a depreciation method to an asset. 1. Go to Admin Asset Management Product Catalog. 2. Click on the desired asset. 3. Click on Edit Product button on the top right corner. 4. Scroll down to Depreciation Type and select the desired depreciation method that you created earlier. 5. Click Update. Task 8. Alert Management Walkthrough. Alert Profile and Incident Creation Process. Integrate Zabbix with Freshservice to triage the alerts sent from your diverse IT components, including networks, servers, virtual machines, and cloud services, to act upon them in a timely manner and prevent outages. Configuration in Freshservice. Step 1. Head to the Admin panel, scroll down to IT Operations Management, and select Monitoring Tools. Step 2. You are now on the Monitoring Tools list page. Select Add Monitoring Tool to add a new integration. Step 3. You will see a list of pre-configured integrations, the gateway to custom integration using webhooks, and the option to use email as a channel for alerts. Select Zabbix. Step 4. Get the endpoint URL and the auth key for Zabbix by following the integration setup. Configuration in Zabbix. Step 1. Create a media type in Zabbix. In Zabbix, to set up an alerting mechanism for important events, create a media type. Media type. Medias are the delivery channels used for sending notifications and alerts from Zabbix. For Zabbix to integrate with Freshservice AMS, we should create a webhook integration media type. To configure a webhook as the media type, go to Administration, rightward arrow, Media Types. Click on Create Media Type. The Media Type tab contains various attributes specific for this media type. Enter the name of the media type. Select the type of media as a webhook. Add the following parameters and replace the URL and auth_key param values with the values copied from Freshservice. It is not required to check the option to include event menu entry. Check the Enable field and save the settings. A media type must be linked to users by defining specific delivery addresses. To do that, go to Administration, rightward arrow, Users. Click the user to which you want to link the media type. Go to Media tab and pick the newly created media type from the Type drop-down list. Set the Send to option. Set the When Activate option. For e.g., to get notified 24/7, set the value as 1-7,00:00-24:00. Set the Use If Severity option. Check Enable. Click Add and update user media information. Step 2. Create action. From the Zabbix homepage, navigate to Configurations-Actions-Create Action. Under Actions, enter properties such as name and add the condition for which you want the action to be triggered. Click the Operations tab, select the operations you want to do. Click Add under Send to Users, choose Admin and Guest and click Add. Check the default subject and message under Recovery Operations and Update Operations and click Add to have the action added. This will send alerts from the configured trigger to Freshservice. Use alert rules to automate the creation and resolution of alert-based incidents based on the properties of incoming alerts, and to even automatically route them to agent and agent groups. Creating an alert rule. To create an alert rule, follow the steps mentioned below. Go to Admin IT Operations Management Alert Rules and click on New Alert Rule. Provide a name and description for your alert rule. The name should be clear enough for you and your team members to understand what the rule is for, something like RDS replica lag alerts. The next step is to set the conditions for the alert rule. Click on an alert parameter from the drop-down and set the condition. For example, you can set a condition to create an incident on receiving an alert with a P1 tag or with a particular metric name such as CPU utilization. Please note that you can add multiple conditions to the same alert rule. After adding the conditions, the next step is to set up actions that will be performed when an alert fulfills the set conditions. Click on the Action drop-down to choose an action. Using the drop-down, you could either create an incident or resolve the alert. If you create an incident, you can set its priority, status, add private notes and assign it to the relevant L1 team. You can also use the timer node to delay the creation of the incident by up to 15 minutes. This will help reduce noise generated by flapping alerts and one-time alert spikes. After creating the alert rule, you can see it on the Alert Rules section. You can enable/disable an alert rule using the toggle button. Automated grouping employs Freshservice's proprietary machine learning algorithm, Freddy, to study incoming alerts from disparate resources and attach them to related open incidents. If there is no relevant open incident, Freddy creates a new incident. This connection is based on alert co-occurrence patterns in an organization's digital infrastructure. Freddy studies historical alert data to find the patterns of alerts that could be clubbed together to refer to a common issue in the past. These patterns are then applied to fresh alerts while correlating them with open incidents. Task 9. Project Management Walkthrough. Association with Change Management. Creating a new project. In Freshservice, you can create a project in 3 different ways. Create from scratch. Create using template. Create from tickets, problems, and changes. To create a new project using a template. You can also create a project from the new menu on the top navigation. Enter the name and description of the project. Choose the start and end date. Choose the project type, based on which you can view project templates under a particular type. If you choose a template first, the project type of the template is automatically selected. You can also choose the project manager and project visibility. To create a project from scratch, skip the selection of a project template during project creation. You can now create a new project with your own set of tasks and sprints. Create project from tickets, problems, and changes. With project management in Freshservice tightly coupled with service delivery, you would need to create projects from incoming tickets, problems, or changes to directly associate them with the ticket's context. To do this, in the Associations section of your ticket, problem, or change, click on Associate and select Project. You can either create a new project with the respective tickets associated with it or associate the ticket with an existing project. You can also associate a new/existing task instead of a project from the tickets. Associate tickets, problem, change, and asset with the project and project tasks. Now project members can associate existing tickets, problem, change, and assets with the projects and project tasks in New-Gen Project Management. This project management module can be integrated with DevOps applications such as GitHub or GitLab, and can be integrated with Slack or Microsoft Teams applications for coordination between project members. Workload management is the process of efficiently allocating and managing work across your team. When implemented successfully, it helps in maximizing your team's performance, optimizing workload, promoting high work efficiency, and driving employee satisfaction. Key benefits of workload management. Improved visibility. Managers can get quick insights into who is working on what in their team and their workload level. Agents and project-only users can view their own workload across modules in a single pane of glass. Manage employee workload. Managers can identify the right resources for assigning any work and balance the workload of overworked employees by reassigning or redistributing their work. Enabling workload management. How can you access the workload module? Workload management has to be first enabled from Admin Project and Workload Management. Workload management. After clicking on Workload Management on the admin screen, follow the below steps to enable the module. A section on Manage Workload will open up. Click on Enable. A pop-up titled Enable Workload Management will show up. Click on Proceed option. Enabling it will introduce planning fields, planned start date, planned end date, and planned effort, in ticket and problem forms. In change and release forms, as planned start and end dates are already present, only planned effort will be additionally introduced. Agents will then be able to plan the dates, add effort, and get an overview of their assigned work in the workload module. Who can access the workload module once it's enabled? You can view your workload as well as your team's workload based on the privileges assigned to you. Agents. Agents who have access to tickets, problems, changes, releases, or projects as well as project-only users will by default be able to see the workload module under My Work on the top navigation bar. They will only see their own work as per their access permissions. Managers. You can additionally supervise your team's workload if you have been granted a role with these permissions. Manage team members' workload. You will be able to manage the workload of all those agents who have been added as members, not observers, to the agent groups you are present in. Manage project members' workload. If you are a project manager, you will be able to manage the workload of all your project members. If you have workspaces enabled in your account, the Manage Team Members Workload privilege will only apply to the agent groups present in the workspace in which the permission has been granted. Disabling workload management. An admin can disable workload management as below. Click on Workload Management icon on the admin screen. Click on the Disable option. Once workload management is disabled, all planning fields that were introduced after enabling it will be unavailable. Workload and work schedule modules will be hidden. All workflows that reference the hidden planning fields will no longer function. All Freshservice API calls that reference hidden planning fields will no longer function. Workload basics. Before we get into the details of how you can manage workload, let's understand the basics of workload management. What is workload? Any work assigned in the tickets, problems, changes, releases, tasks, and projects modules contributes to the workload of agents and project-only users. When this work is planned, a day-wise summary of it is displayed in the workload module either in the form of workload count, workload hours, or percentage of working hours occupied. What do we mean by planning work? Planning work means indicating the dates on which you will work on an item and estimating the effort, in time, required to finish it. For effective workload management, it is very important that your team plans the work assigned to them. But before we talk about how to plan work, let's discuss a few important terminologies related to planning. Planning fields. These fields are added to ticket, problem, change, release, task, and project task forms when the workload module is enabled in an account, if they are not already present by default. Planned start date, tentative date on which work will be started. Planned end date, tentative date on which work will be completed. Planned effort, estimated amount of time required to complete the work. Know more about automating the entry of planned start date and planned end date fields here. Planned work. Any piece of work that has values for planned start date, planned end date, and planned effort field is considered to be planned. Unplanned work. Any work that has not been planned completely is considered to be unplanned. Delayed work. Any work that has status as in progress. If the current date has passed the planned end date, i.e. intended completion date, but the status of the item is still open or in progress, it is considered to be delayed and is indicated with red color. The workload card of each person gives the count of planned, unplanned, and delayed work, upcoming feature. How can agents and project-only members plan their work? To plan any piece of work, you can enter the planning details while creating it or update these properties later. These fields will be available in all the task, project task, ticket, change, problem, or release forms and can be updated easily, anytime. How is workload displayed in workload management? Workload can be visualized on a calendar view if it has been planned, partially or completely. You can view it by workload count, count of items, it needs only planned dates to be filled. Workload hours, hours/day that have been planned, it needs both the planned dates plus effort to be filled. Workload hours as percent of working hours that have been planned, it needs both the planned dates plus effort to be filled. Available hours and available hours as percent are two upcoming views that will be added soon. Project management is tightly coupled with service management. This enables the project manager and members to associate or link the project task or project with the existing ticket, problem, change, and asset. Step 1. Open the project task with which you need to link it with the ITIL module. And hover over to the Associations tab. Step 2. You can search and select the existing ticket, problem, change, and asset for the linking. Step 3. Once the association is done, you can check it inside the Associations tab in the Project Task slider. Task 10. Project Management Reports. Asset Nearing Warranty Expiration Report. For reports about the project has been provided completely in the reporting menu Project Analytic, where two examples of reports have been provided, namely the Project Summary Report and Weekly Overview of Project Tasks, but we can create reports from scratch according to the needs of the required reports. For Asset Nearing Warranty Expiration Report, go to Analytic, then create a new report and use the template Total Assets group by warranty expired date, then add the filter warranty expired in the next 2 weeks, then we will get asset data whose warranty will expire in the next 2 weeks. Task 11. Chatbot setup for portal. Virtual agent walkthrough. Virtual agent setup and other AI capabilities. For chatbots on the Freshservices portal must be integrated with Freshdesk, where in FreshChat there are omnichannel features and various chatbots that can be embedded in various platforms, portal, WhatsApp, Instagram, Facebook. And for virtual agents is AI that can be integrated with Slack or Microsoft Teams. Virtual Agent is a Freddy AI-powered bot that can enable 24/7 conversational support on your collaboration platforms like Microsoft Teams and Slack. Employees can ask a simple question to the virtual agent and it will pull service items and help articles as responses to self-serve. How does it work? Employees ask a question to virtual agent on Microsoft Teams/Slack. Virtual agent searches the knowledge base and service catalog for matches. All changes to content in are continuously indexed. Instant responses to the employee with relevant articles/service items that are matching the query. Why do you need good content? Virtual agent pulls responses from articles and service items. A mismanaged information engine, articles and service items, hence impacts response accuracy. It results in false positives. Relevant content getting ranked lower in the list of responses. Signs of mismanaged content. Duplication and redundancy, existence of multiple duplicates or old articles that are redundant. Same content for multiple purposes, writing a single long article or creating a single service item for multiple needs. Generic title and body content, lack of specific titles and content. Over-reliance on keywords and tags, virtual agent works on the semantic search of visible content. As keywords/tags are invisible content, indexing based on them results in confusion and is hence avoided. Missing content, popular queries do not have relevant articles/service items. Complex language, using complicated keywords that do not match employees' language.